do the horns on Monday? Do we do the horns on Monday? What's up? What's up, Coop? How you doing on this Monday noon edition of A2HH Live? See people in there saying what's up already.
Yeah, that's what's up. No, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Jimmy Butler is a problem, man.
Okay, is that where we're starting, Mike?
Yeah, man. I went out on a limb and picked the Miami Heat, and I didn't realize it was going to be like this, but looks like Boston's kind of looked like they kind of quit last night. I don't like to put that on anybody, but the body language and all of that, it just seemed like they were done.
First of all, I owe Andrew down in Miami an apology.
Yeah, this team's probably
very disrespectful to the Miami Heat, and they've been very disrespectful to the Boston Celtics, Mike.
They're a pretty good team, right?
Let's unpack the very many problematic things that's happened to Boston. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in this last game, between the two of them, had exactly 0 field goals in the fourth quarter. Very problematic.
0 attempted or 0 made?
0 made.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, they didn't really play in the fourth quarter of this game. I mean, the game before that. But Jason Tatum hasn't hit a field goal in the fourth quarter in this series anyway. So it's very problematic, Mike. How do you go from 51 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists to not being able to get a goddamn bucket in the fourth quarter of the conference finals? I'm not finished, Mike.
I think I said that before the series, though. I said he's inconsistent.
I'll tell you what else is very problematic. It's very problematic is the fact that this team has 3 times now. Jason Tatum's made the first team All-NBA. I want you to understand, in the last 3 seasons, LeBron hasn't made first team All-NBA 3 times. Kevin Durant hasn't. Kawhi Leonard hasn't. I think Giannis and Jokic are the only people, other than Tatum, that have made the All-NBA first team the last 3 years, and Luka, I think. So he's considered to be a top 5-ish player. You know what I mean? Like, for the last 3 years, you're pretty much saying he's a top 5 player. And this isn't going to cut it from a top 5 player. They also have somebody that made the second team in Jaylen Brown. Very problematic how he's playing. Did you see the move that Bam put on him? Yeah. Like, that's going to live in reels forever. It's very problematic that that's about to live forever. It's very nasty what happened to him last night. Mike, I'm not finished. They have a 6th man of the year. Their 6th man of the year went 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. Yeah, they have a former defensive player of the year, like who literally won defensive player of the year last year, looked like a highway to the basket, Mike. It looked like 285 at 4 a.m. You can just go round and round in circles, straight to the hole. It's ridiculous.
We got a super chat here. CJ Kidd said, guys, I finally recorded a song. I know you guys gave me an email before to send it to, but I forgot. P.S. My rap voice is terrible. You can send that to info@accordingtohiphop.com. Check that out.
I'll listen to. You can send it to Coop at accordingtohiphop.com. That's cool. I'm gonna check it out, CJ. And Mike.
Go ahead.
And y'all let Ime go for this? Man, I say bring on the harems and get Ime back.
I mean, he got fired for nothing. He got fired fired for having, a relationship or whatever.
He got fired for having hoes in area codes, Mike. Let's call it what it is and keep it hip hop.
Nothing, man.
Oh.
I mean, but you know what? Again, that's what they get for this, But at the end of the day, I don't really like the fact that the interim coach is out here blaming himself. I agree with Shaq and Charles. Like, at some point, these players that are supposed to be who they supposed to step up. This ain't got nothing to do with the coach, quote unquote, not having them ready. So what exactly did you do to have Tatum ready before? You know what I'm saying? In that 51-point game, what did you do to have him ready? It's on him to get ready in the Eastern Conference Finals. You ain't got nothing to do with that. I mean, you're a coach. You're there to guide, but you're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, what you mean get them ready? You got to put this nigga in a trance or something? Fuck we talking about, man. These niggas, I just hate the fact that these players come up short and these coaches have to fall on the sword for these soft ass players. Like a nigga misses 13 free throws and it's the coach's fault. You know what I'm saying? These niggas ain't making field goals and somehow it's the coach not having them ready. Nigga, you a basketball player. What are we talking about?
Mike, what are we talking about having them ready? Like, okay, so let's juxtapose.
That makes them look weaker, man. Like, just shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, people keep bringing up, well, they're 25 and 26. My G, they've been in 4 conference finals and was just in the finals last year.
Exactly.
Let me ask you something, Mike.
So if we're going to do that, we need to say Golden State beat nobody then, right?
Right. Let me finish, Mike. Imagine if we saying this, Mike, when Michael Jordan was about, 27, 28 years old, and he started playing in the conference finals against Detroit, and he lost 2 years, lost in the semis, and he lost in the finals. Then they won the third time, right?
Right.
When they lost that second time, was anybody talking about Michael Jordan's preparation when they lost? Oh, he's not ready for them. It's what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Magic Johnson won a championship playing center as a rookie. Talking about being prepared. Yeah. What the hell are we talking about, Mike?
They just not it.
These niggas been in. Mike, if you actually look at the NBA landscape, the last 5 years, it's been Golden State, Boston, and Miami, and Milwaukee. And surprise, surprise, Miami has been whooping Milwaukee and Boston in the playoffs when given the opportunity. It's only when those two teams don't have to play to Miami that they advance.
Mm-hmm.
So what we talking about getting ready? You've been going to war with these teams for years now.
Yeah, you know them. They know you.
This been going on for about 5 years, this Golden State, Milwaukee, Miami, like Boston thing, in terms of who's really been playing high-level basketball and going to conference finals.
Not Milwaukee. Miami's not a new phenomenon. You know who these guys are. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy's not a new player in the league. What is Eric Spoelstra doing to get him ready? Is there some secret potion or code words to get pro players ready to play at their level that they need to play at?
You want to know what it is? I think, we often talk about Jerry West as, an evaluator of talent. But Mike, Pat Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Riley knows how to pick players, Mike, that fit the system, that fit the culture, that fit the team.
Maybe LeBron should have went back there.
Think about it, Mike. How many guys can literally even have the right to be mad when somebody like LeBron leaves? People forget that part about it. Not a lot of people even have enough cachet to even feel like they have a right to that. But it's no, he's one of those guys. And
they were cool when he left. They thanked him for his time. Yeah, they understood. They understood that we won before LeBron ever went after him, and I think they will.
Mike, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm scared to pick against them now.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely beat Denver, in my opinion.
Okay, so what is this gonna say that an 8 seed that almost didn't even make this tournament wins the entire NBA championship if they do? Mike, they almost lost. The Hawks beat them to become the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
And Chicago was up with 7 minutes left in the game.
Yep.
So they were about 6 or 7 minutes from being out the playoffs, Mike.
Exactly.
They about to go to the finals for the second time in 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
They be the only team to do that in the last 4 years, right?
I think Golden State may hit. Well, no, you might be right.
4 years.
Yeah. It's very interesting, man. I don't know if it's again. Kudos to them. I think they're a dope team. I love watching them play. They're exciting to watch. But all in all, it just, to me, I think it is an indictment on the quote-unquote current stars in this league if this happens the way that, you're saying this could possibly happen.
If Miami punks everybody into the championship?
Yeah, now you have to look at Embiid. Obviously, we all look at Harden crazy. But let's just say Embiid, Giannis, Tatum, and my boy.
Know what, Mike? I'm not looking at Harden crazy because you want to know what I realized last night while I was watching Tatum and Brown pout because they were sitting there. They deserved to sit your ass down. At least we know what James Harden gonna do. You know what I mean? We know James Harden ain't about to work out in the offseason.
That's true.
We know that on the night that James
consistent.
Harden is probably going to flame out. It's probably because James is at the club till 4 a.m. James probably woke up next to 3 strippers. We know what James about to do.
Right.
What's these niggas' excuse?
Well, I mean, again,
They're not a club party legend like James Harden. They're not in these streets like James Harden. They better be in the gym in the offseason, Mike. I better not see them outside in Atlanta.
when you got guys like Tatum, when you got guys like Tatum, Brown, Embiid, and Giannis, who are supposed to be the future of the NBA, I think it's an indictment on the future of the NBA how this thing is rocking. Because if they're supposed to be who they're supposed to be,
you better not see him down here either. I better not see you down here outside at night.
All these guys
playing around and shit.
These guys
don't care. Free throw. Playing like some busters out here, Mike. They playing like some busters out here.
They don't care. CJ Kidd with a super chat says, "Nah, Coop, it's on some some brooding / happy delusional ish. I know you're gonna look at it like what the f, lol." Jay Short with the super chat says, "If David Stern was here, we'd be getting the Celtics and Lakers. Tell me I'm lying. TV Network's gonna fire Adam Silver." I mean, it's only so much Adam Silver can do. AB Studios with the super chat.
Adam Silver can't stop teams from getting punked.
Let me just say this. The guys that they're trying to hand the keys to just ain't got that kind of heart. And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but it's just the God honest truth. Man, I saw that last year in the finals. And that's why I said what I said about the Celtics. I don't trust them. I don't.
Mike, you're right. Do you see Jimmy Butler don't respect these guys?
Yeah. I said that before the series started.
Like all that. He's like, yeah, you can't play ball when it matters. What up?
I said that when the series started. They gave Miami a 3% chance to win this series. I said, I trust Jimmy Butler. I don't trust these other guys. I don't.
Mike, you said it. You called it, Mike. I don't believe this is happening. I don't think you understand. Mike, no other team had a player make the first team and the second team on the same damn team.
Yeah. Well, that's an indictment on the league.
They're the only team with that. Mike, so technically by proxy, that would make them the best duo in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
If your star makes first team All-NBA and your second star makes second team All-NBA, Mike, tell me that's not some Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen type shit.
Yeah, it is.
You ever see Mike and Scottie do this shit even when they was young?
Nah, man. This team about to get busted up. AB Studios with super chat. And I don't know who told, and I don't know if the coach is just young, because he's only like 34 years old or whatever.
He's 35.
He's 35? Okay. He must have just turned 30.
Mike, that don't got nothing to do with the tea in China.
No, I'm just saying, the fact that he is falling on this sword for these stars, nah, man. Fuck that. I wouldn't go out there in the media and be sitting here falling on the sword for these niggas. They lost. No, they did. I'm not going to put all that on me. They went out there and played with no heart and no effort. That ain't got nothing to do with you, coach.
Look here.
Shit.
If 35-year-old Coop was their coach, I would have rolled up and been in the presser like, be like, so Coach Coop, what happened? Be like, man, did you see them playing like some bitches out there?
Yeah. And you could put a we in it. You could put a we in it. That's fine. You're part of the team.
I'm going to say they played like some bitches, but I did some bad coaching. That's 35-year-old Coach Coop. Nobody give a damn. Like, they played like some bitches tonight. Coaching could have been better. Don't like any of you guys.
I didn't have them prepared. What the hell are you talking about?
They done played in 4 of the last damn 6 conference finals.
Exactly. They're way more prepared than you'll ever be. They got the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the people with the experience, you didn't have them prepared enough, and you don't have the experience. You're an intern coach.
You prepare sushi. You understand what I'm saying? It's a cooking course.
Right. AB Studios with a super chat.
What are we doing? We making souffles and shit for the playoffs. They're not prepared. It's like, what the fuck is it? We putting them in the oven for 15 minutes before we break these niggas out?
Right. AB Studios with a super chat says, have you seen the Rivera interview? He said Hov done nothing to him, called him a nice guy. Why Hove take the blame? Them Ether lyrics coming alive again. I did see the interview. There's a lot of interesting things in that piece, and I just saw that individual piece because everybody kept talking about it, and Coop told me about it too. And was like, check this out. We may talk about it. Listen, how do I say this? Because I want to say this in the most respectful way possible.
Good luck with that.
Artists are entertainers, and I don't know what the fans or us fans, I'll say, conjured up in our mind that our rap stars are gangsters running up on people, stabbing people, shooting people, or whatever. I never really thought that was the case in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think what Un said sounds very plausible. I mean, I don't think anything that he said, even Jay being a nice guy, this, that, and the third, is even disrespectful. I think that's just, what their relationship is. They clearly go back. And, I think at the time, hip-hop was very street, needed a street element, even for our biggest mainstream artists. And I think that was something that an artist could hold their hat on, that they went out there and regulated on somebody. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe that's where the whole narrative came from. But let's just be realistic here. If that were the case, y'all really think that niggas is just getting away with doing stuff like that? Like out in the open? You know what I mean? Like being a high-profile person, you would get sued. Jay said it himself. It's foul ways nowadays. Everybody saw you, and they come into court too. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you knew.
Exactly.
Listen, you can't even steal on
exactly.
Motherfuckers
was sued. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I never thought he was the guy that, whatever, because for what he was doing and where he was going, that's a liability. So it really wasn't no new news to me. You know what I'm saying? But it was good to hear Un finally speak on it because, we've always heard speculations and never really heard from him or his side.
Sidebar, All I Need is my favorite song on the Blueprint. It's like my modern day Politics as Usual from Hove. Yeah.
That song is kind of like a Represent on Illmatic to me. Like, I think it's one of his strongest mic performances on the album, but I don't think it's one of the strongest songs. If that makes any sense.
I just love how silky his flow is.
Oh yeah, he's rapping his ass off on there. Yeah. No,
and the jab's quick, and his zab's quick.
Left hand leaning.
Even like a little past six.
Yeah.
I run along with your little ass hits. Peep my rap sheet, nigga. 3 classics. Shut your bummer. I got A-Rod numbers.
Yeah, that's Prime J right there.
Prime, right? Say it again, Mike. Prime.
Nah, that's Prime J right there. What did you think about the interview?
Un was Big's guy, right? And the guy that brought kind of Cam and Charlie Baltimore to him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really learn anything new or surprising that I kind of hadn't already been told before. I think the biggest caveat, of course, Nas fans running around be like, see Ether in full of lies.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay. I think the bigger issue is kind of what you alluded to, Mike, where it's like, well, what made you niggas think that somebody at Jay's stature could stab somebody in a club?
And get away with it like that without at least having legal issues.
Look here, man. Look, you're listening to too much rap. You need to listen to too much rap.
Right.
You need to put some Sade and some Erykah Badu on sometimes. You need to listen to some Earth, Wind, and Fire, some OJs, some Bootsy Collins and the Rubber Band. You need to diversify your bonds, nigga. You need to do something with yourself. Go listen to Faith by George Michael, like a prayer by Madonna. Get outside your box. Never mind by Nirvana. You listen to too much rap if you believe that shit.
Maybe I just didn't really dig into the story like I should have back in the day, but I didn't realize all of this was over bootlegs of Volume 3 either.
Yes.
And it kind of goes back.
Is That Your Bitch in Anything, Mike? The version that had that copy on it. Yes, this is about. So you stabbing a nigga about bootlegging?
And so
Tupac in 92? What is
Well, see, it kind of goes back to some of the stuff that I've been saying on the show about that Annie sample. I think after Volume 2, when it did the numbers that it did, Jay was chasing that million a week thing even though, I mean, we know now the Annie sample was an anomaly, right? It kind of spiked numbers in ways that he never really saw again. And I think that at that time, he was really chasing those numbers, especially for volume three, and any kind of level of bootlegging was going to interfere with that. You know what I'm saying? And so, volume three, it may not look like a misstep to a certain extent, but I do think volume three kind of was a missed opportunity when you want to talk about numerical numbers and critical acclaim, right? Because he could have easily followed up Volume 2 with a better album than Volume 2, because Volume 2 is nowhere near the best that he can do. You know what I mean? He could have followed it up with a better album. I think he kind of had better urban singles on Volume 3 than he did on Volume 2, but he didn't have that real crossover single. And the one that he did that you could say did it had pimping in the title. You know what I mean? So it limits you a little bit.
I told you, Mike, when you talk about these pimps and these hoes, they're not going to let you go but so far.
Exactly. No, it's a ceiling for that. Jay Short with the super chat.
Going on all around this world, Mike.
Right? Jay Short with the super chat says Boston's trying to have that culture of ball move like the Warriors. Sometimes you need the pecking order. Smart and role players have ball too much. He said Smart and the role players have the ball too much. Well, I think a lot of that too, I guess from my vantage point, is that a person like Tatum, who's supposed to be a superstar in this league, is not ready to take over a game. I think Jaylen Brown, I think he kind of walks on eggshells because they've crowned Tatum so much. Like, he can't go out there and really take over like he would want to because there is a level of a pecking order.
And you want to know what's funny, because Brown actually came there a year before Tatum. I believe they're a year apart.
Was it a year before or after? I don't remember.
I feel like it's a year before.
Okay.
But what I'll tell you is because Brown doesn't have Tatum's silky jump shot or handle, that would be the separation. Because Brown's handle is shaky and his jump shot is streaky. And Tatum's a streaky shooter, but the difference between the two is that when Tatum gets streaky, 51.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's a risk versus reward thing. Brown is probably the more stable game-to-game player, Mike, on both sides of the court. But that's why you need them both. I mean, but Mike, there was a lot of the times that it's like, well, Mike would go get 50, but Scotty would have 20 and take on the best defender on the other side. And so it's kind of designed to work that way. But they got to go to work. Like, Michael Jordan going to go 9 for 27 and get you 25 points in a game like this, even if the team lose. You feel me? Ain't going to be no damn 15, 14 points.
What do you think that, let's just say hypothetically, Miami sweeps them? I think Miami's...
Hypothetically?
Yeah, hypothetically. It hadn't happened yet. But where does Boston go from here?
21 skunk rule and just let Miami go to the finals. They don't deserve to play another game.
Where does Boston go from here in the offseason?
Oh, they definitely going home. First they go home, Mike.
But where do they go from here as an organization? The coach is already fired. That's already out.
If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm entertaining offers because he's a game shifter. If a mid to high level team can acquire him, that can change the landscape or the balance of power again. Like, how about this? People say Golden State is done. What if Golden State were to acquire Jaylen Brown in a sign and trade for like Wiggins and Poole and 2 first-round picks?
Oh, that could easily happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so put Jaylen Brown with Steph and with Clay and Draymond for one final year, because Draymond's going to opt in, and it's going to be hard to trade him at that number. Don't Golden State got a legit shot again?
No, I agree. And I think that helps Boston, too. I think that helps Boston also.
Well, I mean, Boston can help themselves by letting Al Horford come off the bench and letting Robert Williams start for some defensive presence, but that's a whole other conversation as well.
I think Wiggins could definitely help Boston.
I mean, Wiggins does a lot of the things that Brown does. He's just older and not as good as Brown at this stage, in my opinion.
I think he's more primetime than Brown. He showed up last year in the finals.
No. Hold on. Jaylen Brown was the second best player on the court in the finals, Mike, after Steph. Wiggins wasn't better than Brown in those finals. Brown showed up and played in the finals, Mike.
I'll say Wiggins was probably third, though. Wiggins showed up last year.
No. He was third. Mike, it would go Steph, Brown, Wiggins, Clay.
You got Tatum way down there?
Who?
Shyster 30 with the super chat says, damn, you guys have a different time. Glad to get to see you guys. It's been a minute. Bless up, guys. Coop, what happened to the Celtics, fam? How's Miami now? Yeah, you're going to be getting that a lot.
I've already apologized. And second of all, we've been going live from 12 to 2 for about a month now. So need you to
Has it been a month now?
It's been. This might be the fourth one. I feel like this is show number 4 at 12.
Okay. Well, I guess that's what it is. Hey. But yeah, we here. CJ Kidd with the super chat says, I sent it to both your Instagrams. The link will expire in 7 days. This is like a Mission Impossible type thing. Also, will we get an MF Doom today? Just asking. Sure, let's do it. CJ Kidd also says, better song, Street Dreams or All Eyes on Me. I like both songs. I might go Street Dreams.
I was actually thinking I might go All Eyes on Me.
I like both songs. 007 with the super chat says, Tatum is not an alpha. Brown is been saying this. He said Brown is been saying this for 4 years.
You want to know what too? You want to know what part of it is too with the All Eyes on Me thing? Well, we have the Street Dreams remix, so we know Nas can flex better with the concept if given another opportunity.
Yeah.
So the Tupac is just more one of one-ish because of the quality of the Street Dreams remix. It's like, oh, he can do this again.
Mm-hmm. Melo retired today, or this morning rather, and I feel a whole lot of ways about it, man. It's a shame. It's a shame that Carmelo Anthony didn't get the opportunity from either New York or Denver to be able to kind of get, his victory lap in the league. I mean, I think he's met that much to the league at least, right? But yeah, he got on Instagram and basically, to me, it feels like, and I hope Melo don't take this disrespectfully because I love Melo. Big Melo fan. I would have picked him over LeBron. I would have been wrong, but that's how much of a Melo fan I am. It feels like he just kind of, said fuck it and gave up and got tired of trying to get a spot in the league, which he should still be able to have. Especially after the basketball we've just been seeing, and exactly what you said, like we got a play-in team that just beat the number 1 and number 2 seed and is about to go to the finals. And you telling me Carmelo Anthony can't get no roster spot anywhere in this league?
No, Mike, Miami has punked these teams. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Punked these teams.
It's not like the NBA is so flooded with skill that Carmelo Anthony can't get his victory lap in this NBA.
He should be on Miami's roster right now.
He should.
He would be perfect for them right now.
I agree with someone in the chat. He said the NBA retired him.
They need some size. They need some shooting. And then think about this, Mike. How is it that Carmelo does a job as somebody like Udonis Haslem does? Not to be funny.
Yeah, exactly. It comes across. And I love the respect that Miami gives Haslem. And honestly, this is the type of stuff that you would hope to see from every organization. So they're doing the right thing by Haslem. But you're right. If Haslem has a spot, you telling me New York couldn't have a spot for Melo? That New York team that got ran off the court? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
No, I'm not joking. You know what else could have used Carmelo? Boston.
Yeah.
They need some toughness in their
LA. He was there. LA. What happened?
Mike. Phoenix.
Yeah. See, this is the stuff I be talking about, man. That Dwight Howard shit, the way they do him and Melo, it's some inside stuff, and this is what makes people feel like shit's very political.
Could have used Melo too. They could have used some more veteran leadership on that Sacramento team and some more timely shooting. Yes.
They have labeled Melo as this, I don't know, just bad teammate or something. You know what I mean? Like when he came over to Portland and helped them out, they loved him for it. You're telling me nobody could use his experience, regardless of what you think about Melo or whatever he got left in the tank. His experience alone, like you said, could have helped Sacramento, could have
How
helped
about this?
Phoenix.
Mike, it could have even helped Denver. Think about this other game. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
Jokic doesn't score 15 points in the fourth quarter, but he catches that fourth foul, and you bring somebody like Melo off the bench to play power forward, and you go small, and you just play with Porter and Melo, and Caldwell Pope and Murray and Gordon, and you just play kind of like a big athletic lineup. You might run the LA off the floor like that.
Yeah. It feels like the NBA's had it out for Melo since day one. I mean, the fact that he got drafted by Denver instead of the Pistons. They drafted Darko Milicic instead of Carmelo Anthony. And it's like there's nothing in conventional wisdom that will show you this man coming out of Syracuse is supposed to come behind Darko Milicic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that alone. Because let's just look at the fact that if Melo does go there, and again, Larry Brown was the coach, so maybe it was one of those things where Larry Brown doesn't play rookies. I don't know. That same bullshit we were just talking about with the Olympics. But let's just say Melo goes to Detroit and gets drafted by Detroit like he's supposed to. The lineup looks like Wallace, Melo, Rip Hamilton, and Chauncey Billups. This man wins 2 out the gate. Let's just be real. And so after that,
At least
yeah,
because he would have ascended into the type of player that maybe could have carried them to a third.
exactly.
And then they would have rebuilt and retooled around him.
Who does he look like in that situation? He looks like Magic fucking Johnson in that situation. That's what his career starts.
Bird.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what
like
his
Bird.
career starts to look like. Whereas you have Bron over here in Cleveland who's trying to put it together. I think it's just unfortunate, man. And, he did the best with what he could do. But what I will say, the fact that he went to the Denver Nuggets and went to the West in a very competitive West and made them competitive immediately, he should get props for that too, as a rookie. His rookie numbers was better than Bron's. Nobody would talk about that.
He should have been Rookie of the Year, Mike.
He should have been Rookie of the Year. He's been shitted on since day one and all the way out the door. And like somebody said, the NBA retired him. He didn't retire.
These are all facts. He's still ninth all-time in scoring. He is about to slide down to 10th probably next year if Kevin Durant stays healthy.
They don't even act like he's top 10 in scoring. You know what I'm saying?
He's the only top 10 scorer that they don't talk about like he's a top 10 scorer. Like
shit's crazy.
Now, in fairness to him, Mike, I don't know how long he's going to be in the top 10 because, like I said, next year he's probably sliding into 10.
Well, they did everything.
But also when I look at who's next, which is like Harden, Westbrook, and Steph, I'm like, they thousands of points away.
I mean, they did everything they could to keep him at 9 because he hasn't played really in 2-3 years. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mike, and if you really want to know the truth, had they let him play Mike, he'd be like...
Yeah, exactly.
He'd be right at about... He'd be at least where Mike is at, Mike, which means he'd be with top 5 scorer all time.
If they let him play, yeah. This is some Barry Bonds shit where it's like, you know what? We're going to stop you right here. No one's going to sign you.
Because I think the only people that think about the people ahead of him, Mike, it's LeBron, it's Kareem,
Karl Malone,
Kobe, Mike, Will, Dirk.
Yeah.
Who else? Shaq.
Yeah.
And then it's Carmelo. Listen to all the other guys I just named.
And all of those guys, with the exception of Wilt, because he kind of walked away early, but all of those guys were able to walk away on their own volition. Well, I'll say this. He didn't walk away super early, but he clearly had more game in him, and he just walked away.
Mike, he may have had the game, but his body, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, people forget, he was like a sport athlete at Kansas, and he's 7 feet tall, Mike. It's the wear and tear of the limbs and, like, all that stuff. It's like,
Jay Short with the Super Chat says, one of these days, someone is going to come back from an 0-3. I could see a streak shooting team like Boston beating an underman team like Miami. Are you saying this is going to happen this year, Jay Short? Come on now. Are you willing to put it all out there for that? I would say that the Lakers have a better chance of coming back in their series than Boston does because at least these Laker games have been competitive.
They have been like LA
They've
could
had
have won.
chances to win. Boston didn't really have a chance to win.
I'm about to say, LA can honestly look at every game and be like,
Yeah.
there were chances for us to win all these games.
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
Boston shouldn't feel that way. Boston got walked down twice and then got whooped, Mike.
Yep.
Got whooped, Mike. They got what's love to do with it anime scene and eat the cake like what? Yeah, Mike. You got punked, Mike.
Jay Short says Melo was more worried about making money in a big market, not winning. No knock to him, but he didn't want to sacrifice his game for winning. So Denver and New York, remember, you can't have everything. I guess that's fair. And you know what? At the end of the day, I will never knock a player for thinking about their individual finances first. Get your money.
Me neither. That's what the
Get
owners
your
are thinking
motherfucking
about.
money. And that's exactly what these owners do. These owners have a terrible organization, a terrible team, but as long as they're making money, go look at James Dolan in New York. Yeah, New York is the what's the word I'm looking for? Is the most valuable organization in basketball, and they don't win shit. So, you know, players shouldn't be put to this other standard where they're supposed to take a knock of money, you know what I'm saying, for a chance to win. Organizations don't do that.
My mama was 10 the last time the Knicks won some shit, Mike.
So shout out to Melo. But I do agree with Jay Short saying, I think that the fact that he took both of these organizations to the bank, they're not appreciative of that, and they're not going to let him get his victory lap, I guess, for it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, Mike, look at this. And I got it right in order, too, Mike. It goes LeBron, Kareem, Malone, Kobe, Mike, Dirk, Wilt, Shaq, Carmelo.
Yeah, this sounded about right.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is how the list goes after that. This is what I mean, how hard it is to break this list. Think about it. After that, Mike, Moses Malone is 10. Elvin Hayes is 11. Hakeem is 12. KD is at 13 right now. Now, KD has 26,892. So, literally, on his pace, he should be passing Carmelo in the second half of next season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, Mike, after that, the next active player, Mike, is James Harden at 25. He's at 24,693. James Harden ain't going to score 2,000 points in a season again, Mike.
Yeah.
And scoring 2,000 would just get him into the top 20. So it's hard.
Yeah. And what Melo did is an incredible feat.
Russell Westbrook's right behind Harden at 26. Steph ain't even on this list. It's hard.
Yeah.
So, Carmelo's been great for a long time. You have to be great for a long time.
For a very long time. And you know, the fact that the NBA is not showing him that proper respect is very sad. And the fact that none of these teams were able to put him on a roster, it's unspeakable, man. It's the same thing. We were talking about this the other day. Melo, Iverson, and Dwight Howard, they pushed them out of the league unnecessarily.
They did, Mike. Because if you look at where he's at, because here's really the problem, Mike. It said he's at 28,289, Mike. Only 7 guys have scored 30,000 points in this league. That's Wilt, Dirk, Mike, Kobe, Malone, Kareem, and LeBron. Had they let this man play, he would have been the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
He should have 30,000 points.
The NBA,
Mike.
Let's just keep it a buck. The NBA hates Melo. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. Because they wouldn't have done LeBron like this. They wouldn't have done Chris Paul like this. They're going to let Chris Paul go out there and play until he's on crutches, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's on crutches, Mike.
they wouldn't have done D-Wade like this. They let D-Wade get his, get his victory lap. They wouldn't have done none of these guys like that.
D-Wade is a 3-time champion and a Finals MVP.
He
that
is.
Walks a little bit different.
Of course, D-Wade's great, incredible talent, but they wouldn't have done him like this. They did Iverson like this, they did Melo like this, and for whatever reason, they've done Dwight Howard like this. I get it. Melo got family, and he's training his son up. He said something about that in the video. So he probably doesn't want to go overseas and play. But I would love to see Melo go out there in Taiwan with Dwight Howard putting up 100 points in a game. I would love to see it, just so these folks could see how much game this man really has left in him. But it's sad, man. I love Melo. You didn't deserve this, Melo. Enjoy your retirement in the next part of your career. But the NBA is on some bullshit, and I feel a way about that.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't to the level of they did my man Barry Bonds, but it's up there.
They were the worst with Barry Bonds.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in sports.
He's too black for BET, Mike.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen in sports. You're
horrible.
telling me nobody in the major leagues could pick up somebody who just had 30-something home runs in their final season and led the league in walks. Nobody could use that person. No DH in the American League or anything, huh?
Mike, that's where you know the collusion was real. Is that Barry Bonds as a DH in the American League probably would have got you 25 home runs a season for probably another 2 to 5 years, which means he would have hit over 800 home runs. And once again, they were not about to let that happen. They were like, "Oh no, he can still hit. He's going to get the 800 home runs."
They wanted his. They didn't want him to get those 3,000.
Nobody's ever going to hit 800 home runs.
They wanted his record to be reachable. They didn't want him to get those 3,000 hits. And honestly, the reason why he couldn't get 3,000 hits because motherfuckers weren't pitching to him. You know what I'm saying?
They were throwing him the ball.
Like you gotta pitch me the ball for me to get 3,000 hits.
Throw the ball somewhere within the. Mike, people don't understand how many of his home runs are out of the strike zone.
It's insane.
Giving him pitches to hit, Mike. They weren't throwing strikes. He was hitting balls for home runs.
I want to be totally accurate here. This is what his final season looked like. He had 28 home runs, 66 RBI, and he led the league in walks. He led the league in walks with 132 walks. So you're telling me nobody in the major leagues could use a veteran that just hit 28 home runs and had 132 walks? Really?
Mike, they said, we've got to stop this nigger. He's not nice like Hank was.
Yeah. Best ever, man. Fuck what they say.
Bud Selig, Hank's friend, who happened to be the commissioner of baseball while this is going on. You feel me?
I stopped watching baseball after that. Somebody in the chat said he was a cheater. Cheater how? No. I want to hear this. Cheater how? How did he cheat? Because his name's not on the Mitchell report. If we want to get our facts straight here, while they were trying to actually get Barry, they unveiled the Mitchell report. There was like 100 names on there. He wasn't one of the people on there. And as far as tests go and having positive blood tests, we saw a positive test for A-Rod. There was a positive test for Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa had cork bats. We saw a positive test for Roger Clemens. We saw a positive test for Rafael Palmeiro. We saw a positive test for Mark McGwire. The list goes on and on. Barry Bonds, y'all had him in court for 15 years, and he got found with nothing. He cheated how? He cheated how?
No, Mike. No. See, Mike, our argument is different. I like to juxtapose it in this regard. Do you not think? Okay, think about this. First of all, and anybody who's played baseball knows this, and real people who play baseball know this. First of all, Mike, steroid doesn't change hand-eye coordination.
Of course not.
Steroids changes your ability to recover in terms of your body healing. So if you want to save it, let's say, quote unquote, he did. What I submit to you is that about that healing process, I bet you more pitchers did than hitters ever did. And who's throwing him the ball? The steroid users, the pitchers. The real users of the steroid era, Mike, are the pitchers, because they're the ones whose arms are literally getting thrown out of socket and trying to recover for these games and go through all sorts of things in their off days to try to recover. Okay? That's who the majority of the steroid users were the people who couldn't throw 90, you know what I mean? Or couldn't throw it consistently. The people who threw 95 that were trying to maintain it, Roger Clemens. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about Barry, it's like, no. Long before any speculation, he's walking around with about 7 gold gloves, 3 MVP awards. Mike, the season before he quote unquote started, he hit 49 fucking home runs.
Well, this is the biggest thing here, man. When you look at the...
So everybody that thinks that he's not the man, suck it hard. He's the best baseball player I ever saw.
He's the best baseball player ever.
The 2 best baseball players Mike ever seen was Barry Bonds with the Pittsburgh Pirates and Barry Bonds with the San Francisco Giants. Fuck you talking about? It's the best 2 baseball players I ever seen.
Well, this is the thing too, man. When you look at the most intentional walks ever, obviously he's number 1, right? Number 2, is Albert Pujols with 316 intentional walks. Barry has 688 intentional walks. He has 2 times more intentional walks than the person that's number 2. Motherfuckers weren't even pitching to him. And you want to talk about some cheating? That's cheating.
Mike,
The fact that you
Mike.
won't even pitch me the ball is cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No. Let's contextualize the amount of balls being thrown. That is, Mike. How many walks it is, Mike? That's about 40 seasons worth of walks.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's 40 seasons worth of walks this man got thrown. 40, Mike.
You want to know how many times Hank Aaron was intentionally walked? Just
Not a
200.
lot, Mike.
Just 293. And he had to deal with racism and everything. And this dude, Barry, he got walked 688 times intentionally. I'm not even talking about the regular walks. This is just when the motherfuckers put the mid out. You know what I'm saying? That's not even counting when a pitcher was acting like he was pitching to him and had no intentions of actually pitching to him.
Mike, it's over 1,000 walks. It's got to be.
I think overall, he's been walked like 3,000 something times or something crazy like that. Yeah. That's why he doesn't have the 3,000 hits. He got like 3,000 walks.
It's the best baseball player ever.
Ever. It's not even close. It's not even close.
It's not even
Like,
close.
who else is 500 and 500? He got 500 stolen bases too. He did that too.
I guess steroids make you
Yeah, it
faster,
makes you
Mike.
super fast too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Makes your calf muscles. It enhances the strength in your calf muscles.
And the craziest part about this, Coop, the man was batting third. Niggas was walking him at astronomical rates to get to the cleanup batter. What?
Best baseball player ever.
And for anybody who knows baseball, the cleanup batter is the strongest hitter on the team. Everybody walked him to get to the strongest hitter on the team.
Mike, he used to hit home runs. The ball be this far from the ground, and he would swing it and hit it out. The ball would be 2 feet out the strike zone. He would swing and he would hit it out. I ain't never seen no shit like that before.
Fuck what you say, man. That nigga the best ever.
Not even Mike Trout.
Who's better? And how?
Man,
No. This man didn't even get balls to hit. If they pitched to him like a regular dude, he would have 850 something home runs.
900. Mike, no. If they pitched him, he had 9.
Possibly. Probably running around with 3,500
right?
hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bricks with the super chat says, Mike and Coop, where was Soul Food ranking the greatest Atlanta albums of all time? It made Mount Rushmore of ATL albums. What are they? He says, if you made a Mount Rushmore of ATL albums, what are they? Well, I've always said on the show, I think that as far as hip hop goes, Soul Food's the second best hip hop album to come out of this city, in my opinion. I say Akumanai, then that one. I go Southern Playalistic after that. But just so it's not a full Dungeon Family Mount Rushmore of Atlanta hip hop, I would say, you know what? I'm going to surprise you, man. I might put Southern Playalistic on that Mount Rushmore before I put Akumanai on there, because I think it means more to the city. Might not be the better album, but it means more. And I would agree. I'll put Soul Food up there as well. I put T.I.'s trap music up there. And you know what? I might go Thug Motivation 101.
Look at Mike growing.
I see the effect that it's had on the people, man. You know, can't go against the people.
I'm with you, Mike. I'm picking 2 Outkast albums. I'm picking Aquemini and Southern Playalistic. But I'm probably going Soul Food third. But only picking Southern Playalistic ahead of Soul Food about the impact. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, Mike, I do think Southern Playalistic is slightly better end to end. Slightly. Because, well, Mike, look at it like this. The end of Southern Playalistic plays like Get Up, Get Out, Crumbling Herb, Hootie Hoo, and Deep. No, the end of Soul Food ain't like that, Mike.
I don't really love Deep like that. But I do love the Players Ball reprise. I do think that it was a better produced album than Soul Food. Probably a better put.
But the beats on Soul. How about this? Southern Playalistic is better produced, but the beats on Soul Food are better.
Okay.
Like Thought Process, Dirty South, the actual beats.
Self Therapy.
Live at the Omni.
Yeah. 1
Goodie
million niggas
bag.
inside. I just think that lyrically and perspective wise and content, Goody Mob was just more there than Cass was at that time. I think that Goody Mob's lyrical ability and their approach really made Outkast, Andre specifically, step it all the way up, especially from a content standpoint. Like, they're not talking about too much on Southern Playalistic, except for on Get Up, Get Out, which we all know now was originally CeeLo's song. So it makes sense. Like, the more content heavy stuff that's on Southern Playalistic involved Goody Mob. You know what I'm saying? Voices in my head and Get Up, Get Out. Like, when they're talking about something.
Call it a wild and Get Up, Get Out.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Claiming True. No, I don't know about
Claiming True is dope.
Well, here's the thing about it. If you really look at it, Southern Playalistic in a lot of ways is the precursor to soul food, but they're just scratching the surface. Like, you got to get in the door.
Yeah.
So getting in the door with the pimp and the player shit is really getting in the door. But it's like Big Group said on the interlude, if you think it's all about pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac those, you probably a cracker. Or a nigga that think you a cracker. Or maybe you
just don't understand.
Yeah, because if you listen to how they start off the album, hold on, what'd he say? I dig the boo-boo out my brain, then I finish up my rhyme. Take a number. I toss you in the summer. They hit me for a lick, I'm in the summer for the summer. But now it is the fall, I'm having the ball, making my nickel sacks crawl. I got that Pete and Paul, and plus that Mary Jane. I'm rolling reefer out of a Regal. How can I refrain from being rough, from being tough, from being dangerous? I'm hanging with them PA niggas, ain't no changing us. So you can try. If you try, if you don't, you don't. If you want to battle, it's either that you will or you won't. See this rap shit is really just like selling smoke. If you got some fly shit, your niggas gonna always go, nope. It's not what I be slinging on this track. Niggas don't understand that it be deeper than Cadillacs.
You know, when I listen to Outkast's catalog now, when I listen to Outkast's catalog now, it sounds like a young man trying to find himself. When I listen to Dre specifically, album to album, you know?
Specifically the first two albums.
Yeah.
Like, yes, definitely searching for something. That's part of the beauty in his poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like a lot of black men from that environment. He was searching for something more.
Trying to figure it out. Jay Short with Super Chat says, if you could have gotten one album, what would you choose? Detox, Good Ass Job, One Nation, or the Nas album Done?
Detox.
That would be the obvious answer, but I have this thing about the Detox.
It's like if you did Family Feud, the survey says Detox will get like 78 of the votes.
I don't think there was any real intentions of actually releasing the Detox. I don't think the Detox ever really existed. I think that the Detox was just something, it was a trigger word to keep us interested in whatever Dr. Dre had going on. I don't think there was any real intentions of actually putting the Detox out. I don't. I think
they came out with Mike. They released that I Need a Doctor and it flamed out. So they tried.
That shit was, that wasn't it.
Oh, that wasn't it.
Somebody said Ken Griffey was better.
They tried, but that wasn't. No,
I love Ken Griffey, man. He was second to Bonds. Ken Griffey had a better arm than Bonds. I'll give him that. Wasn't a better base
and he had a better swing.
It was a pretty
better
swing.
Arm and a better swing. See, people look at the talent. I ain't say who was more talented. I said who was better.
I mean, we could say, like I said, I give Griffey the arm. I give Griffey the defense too, even though Bonds has 7 Golden Gloves. That's it.
No, Mike, that's a lot. He has the swing too, and he has the height. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, Griffey actually, if you just want to talk about the talent of it, but here's the thing. Griffey couldn't stay healthy.
Y'all want to see how many times Griffey was walked?
They pitched the Griffey money.
Yeah, exactly. That matters. When you're playing, if anybody's ever played baseball, understand people actually pitching you the ball matters.
Well, it matters too because it allows you to get into a rhythm. It's kind of like how, streaks get started.
Exactly.
That's why Barry Bonds doesn't have a lot of hitting streaks, Mike. They never pitched him the ball consistently.
Exactly. One guy was intentionally walked 246 times. One guy was intentionally walked 688 times. It's very different, guys.
Triple.
And he
Almost
still has more home runs than him.
By
Still has more hits than him.
By like 300.
Yeah, come on, man. I love Griffey. Don't make me do this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love Griffey. I don't want to just start having to dissect Griffey, but
like
he ain't him.
And downstairs.
I wish we could have gotten that One Nation album from Pac, right? That's the Pac album we're talking about. We're talking about, what about the Biggie triple disc that was supposed to be a thing?
We don't know where rap was going. That's too speculative. We don't even know how far we got. You don't even know what if any recording sessions for that even formally happened. You know what I'm saying?
I think Biggie's third album is probably hip hop's biggest mystery because, and it's not off course to us talk about Biggie. I think his 51st birthday would have been yesterday. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So,
correct.
Happy heavenly birthday to Big. I think one of the biggest mysteries is what would his third album sound like? What year do you think Biggie's third album would come out in? Would that be 99, 2000?
That's what the real fascinating thing is because what you have to really think about is that Biggie dying speeds up No Way Out by Puff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Big lives, life after death lives, and what I think you get is you probably get a different More Money, More Problems video for one.
I think No Way Out was coming out anyway. And you're right. You do get a different More Money, More Problems video, and that changes everything.
Listen what I'm saying about the process, Mike.
But it doesn't have I'll Be Missing You on it.
When Glove is talking to us, and he's like, yeah, I forgot about Dre's the first that I heard.
Right.
Okay. That's 90. Okay, so we're hearing that in 99.
He heard it in 97.
Right. And so what you have to understand is that some of these records that ended up on No Way Out, you don't know if they really ended up on No Way Out about how Big's flow is going. He's steering the ship, Mike. So it's like if Life After Death's still popping, all that Been Around the World and all about the Mike, we might not hear that until 98 or 99 about Big wanting to do More Money, More Problems. And you know how he felt about Jay, so he's like, let me do the I Love the Doe video with Jay. What if they come out with The World Is Filled with Carl Thomas and Too Short? You don't think that would have been a fly video, Mike? What if he actually gets to do the Sky's the Limit video himself? That's what I'm saying. There was so much.
The singles probably would have been different. We might have gotten a Notorious Thugs video. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying, Mike. But that album had the type of singles on it. It's like, no, if Big would have been here, that could have bubbled. Like, first of all, it would have bubbled all in 97, but would have bubbled into some of 98. So we wouldn't have probably Been Around the World till about midsummer of 98. And Can't Nobody Hold Me Down and all of that. So they would have taken up 98 to 99. So we might not even hear Big till 2000, Mike.
So you're saying that if Big lives and is able to actually promote Life After Death, we're not getting No Way Out until maybe a year later.
Easy, Mike. I mean, Life After Death got released, what?
March of
97?
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't
at the end
Mike,
of March.
Yeah, we getting No Way Out, Mike, like August of 98. Which means we probably ain't getting Big again until like early 2000.
And are we getting Mace?
No, that's what I'm saying, Mike. You got to do Mace and do and then the Locks. That's what I'm saying. Is it's like when you getting Big again, it's like 2000.
But I do remember. I mean, I know you remember too when Big was in the.
And when you're also saying No Way Out too, Mike, that's what I'm saying about pressing it. It's like who's to say what No Way Out was when Big was here?
Well, I do remember Big being in the Can't Nobody Hold Me Down video, and I do remember hearing a lot of stuff that was going to be on that album while Big was still here. So I don't know when they were planning on rolling it out and actually putting it out, but I know it was definitely in the plans because when I heard Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, I'm a kid, I'm thinking, okay, well, this is kind of going to be like on some The Chronic type stuff where it's like Puff Daddy, kind of featuring everybody. And that's when the album was called Hell Up in Harlem at the time. And No Way Out was not No Way Out. Can't Nobody Hold Me Down was getting heavy play on MTV Jams when it had the Hell Up in Harlem title. But it was one of those albums, though, we knew was coming, but didn't have a date. So, yeah, ain't no telling. It could have got pushed all the way back.
I'm saying. Like, Mike, you remember when you heard Deep Cover?
Yeah.
When did we get The Chronic?
True.
Right. So when you're
Um,
hearing "Can't Nobody Hold Me Down," it's like, yeah, so what? It still might be a year.
I think
Play the
Dre.
record.
Do you think Dre's process is unique in that sense, though? You think he's the guy that can hang on to a record for 2, 3 years and it not sound dated, whereas Puff and them might not have that same process? I would love to talk to somebody in that Hitman camp to see if it's similar to what Glove's talking about with Dre.
Well, I mean, my bad boy people have told me, they're the ones that used to always tell me, and I mean, this is specifically coming from people in the bad boy camp. They used to tell me, be like, Coop, the only person who knows how old that record is
you?
you.
Yeah.
So they were saying that to me for a reason, Mike. You know what I'm saying? So
You're right.
obviously, it heard stuff. You hear when Stevie J is up in the shop and stuff, and they're like, so when did Who Shot You come out? And he like,
Right.
like,
What am I supposed to say? I know when I heard it. Right.
Like, I remember when because in his mind, he's remembering when he heard it, like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Ooh, that ain't the type of shit that we play with on the timeline because of what happened now, is it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Jay Short with the super chat
real,
says, speaking of big, did you see Timbaland promoting the AI software to make albums for deceased artists? Tim is not just inviting people to the barbecue, he's stealing the grill and taking it across town. These are my thoughts as far as where Timbaland's coming from with it. I don't see how, as an artist himself, he could co-sign this. And I don't know if this is maybe him trying to... Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if this is maybe him trying to, get some Aaliyah stuff going on, but yeah, I just can't co-sign that. And maybe it's one of those things where Tim wishes that he made a record with Big and maybe wants to make some manufactured stuff. I don't know. But we know it's not real. And I think that just opens up a whole can of worms. I heard what Ice Cube said about it. And the fact that, if somebody uses his voice, he's going to sue them and the platform that they put it out on. I don't really know what Timbaland's angle is with that. I mean, my thing is, let's make new music with new emerging talents. And I think that, and I would challenge Timbaland, Swiss, and even to some degree, Pharrell works with some of the newer guys, but I would challenge them to really be able to do what you did from a production standpoint in the past with some newer, young talent and stop living in that past. Like, I love the fact that Busta has Timbaland and Swiss and Pharrell executive producing his project, but what Timbaland beats is he giving to some young cats out here? Or do the young cats not want his beats? You know what I mean? Like, what is it?
First of all, he costs too much for them young cats in a lot of ways.
Well, he gonna have to change. The game's changed. If you really love what you do, and I think there's something to what you're saying. Maybe he feels with the AI motherfuckers, he can actually monetize on it more and make more money on it. Oh, go ahead, Coop. Maybe that's where he's going with it. Maybe he feels that there's more money in it for him to use old artificial, artists and having access to their catalogs. But I think that's a dangerous game, and it opens up a whole can of worms. Go ahead, my bad.
I mean, we often talk about, I don't have a problem with somebody being a capitalist, but it's like, is your capitalism compromising the integrity that brought you your wealth in the first place?
Right.
And so this is one of those situations, not the first time he's been involved in this situation, because, Mike, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of my friends who are a little bit even more, what I'd say, revolutionary with their thought, in terms of black society and how we should live in, have raised questions about him to me early on, even saying, and Mike, and you posed it to it too a couple times, I believe, on this show, is like, well, why he really give all that heat to Justin Timberlake and didn't give it to Usher or Chris Brown or work with R. Kelly, somebody like, black of the equal stature. It did seem like it was a calculated move to try to jump in that frame, Mike, because you've also spoke of Justin's first album and how originally the whole situation with the Neptunes and how Tim kind of really just kind of
he crossed the picket line.
Well, he pretty much was like, well, I ain't that down like them other niggas are. I'm gonna finish the project for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, thank you for Cry Me a River and bringing Sexy back, but like, Mike, the integrity of it has always really been in question since then. Am I not right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when the news
So,
came out. I saw it on
so
MTV.com when Pharrell said, "Look, we got love for Justin, but until Jive Records does right by Clips, we're not working with Justin." Justin was signed the job. Timbaland said,
so were the
"Hey, I'll
Clips,
do the whole album, guys." And I
right?
didn't even know how close Timbaland, Clips, or Malice specifically, and Pharrell actually were. And so I thought it was wrong, even not knowing that stuff. You grew up with
Mike,
these guys.
that's what I'm saying. So when somebody's doing this in 2023, well, oh, Mike, they were doing this in 2003.
Exactly.
So we really can't be surprised. Zebras don't change types. I'm gonna tell you something that Obi told me when he was here. Mike, when you're seeing me wear the Colombian gear, I get that when I go down to Colombia to see Obi.
Mm-hmm.
Atletico Nacional. Mike, he looked at me with a straight face. He said, Coop, you don't expect somebody to change after they're 35, do you? It was just one of those real life things. Obi somebody, he'll just say real life stuff to you randomly. You know what I'm saying? That's what always made him dope as a producer in the studio. He would hit you with something that would make you think, that would make you right. He's like, you don't think nobody changing after the age of 35. So my thing with us is that we can scream to the top that he's wrong, but it's like our opportunity to change it is long been gone, Mike. You know what I mean? Because we should have said something and did something about it 20 years ago. But we didn't. You know what I mean? We played Cry Me a River and we helped bring Sexy back and My Love with T.I. and Chop Me Up with 3-6 Mafia. It's like, no. We let Justin in the barbecue and let Timbaland party with him and Usher Records don't beat things good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, we let all that happen.
This is what I would say about Justin Timberlake, and I think I've expressed this on the show before. I'm a person that's kind of music first, and it's like I try to leave all the personal out of it. Music's jam is jam. Justin Timberlake made some jamming music, right? But the fact that but the fact that those Justified records were supposed to be for Michael Jackson, and they ended up on his table, and because they told the Neptunes that Michael Jackson turned them down, and Michael Jackson never heard those records. So I think it was an effort to make sure that Justin Timberlake was getting records from the Neptunes that were meant for Michael Jackson. That's one. Boom. Then you got how he did Janet at the Super Bowl. Then you got him dissing Prince on record, and then after the fact, you're performing a Prince tribute in Minneapolis after Prince's death, but not acknowledging the fact that you did go out here and diss Prince, no apology or anything. So
Big homie didn't mess with you like that.
Exactly. So it's like with all of those things factored in, you done shitted on Michael, you done shitted on Janet, and you done shitted on Prince. I don't fuck with Justin Timberlake like that, even if the music was pretty good. But I'm not going to be one of those people when, certain songs come on, turn the radio or anything. But at the end of the day, I don't like those things. But you're right. When we look past those things and we bring in the music, then we're kind of co-signing that trash. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, I'm going to tell you, like, one of my favorite MCs told us a long time ago. It was a small thing, really, though, but keep letting them small things slide to be a failure.
Yeah. No,
that's why you won't let Mike. This is why, like, people always ask me why I behave the way I behave sometimes, but really it's just I don't let small shit slide, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because when you let small stuff slide,
it turns into a big thing.
Every time in my life, Mike, I've let something lay, snowball, and roll my ass over.
No, you're right.
You check it from the dough. We don't have to. If we would have checked these things from the dough, we don't have to worry about them. I've always told you, Mike, I've never said that the things that you've said about Eminem are invalid on the level of factuality. I feel like sometimes you're disrespectful with your factuality.
And sometimes I'm being tongue-in-cheek, too.
And I think you've done a better job about it. But what I've always told you is that, well, Mike, we can't say this now after we done invited him to the barbecue and allowed these things to occur for so long. Mike, I told you, it's like, no, we should have checked that shit in 97.
I was doing that, and I was looked at as a hater even then.
Mike, but we got to get it together and start doing these things culturally about it. That's why, Mike, do you remember when people was looking at me crazy? I was like, yeah, Bruno Mars, a culture vulture. Do you remember when everybody was looking at me crazy when I was talking on social media about it? Like, this before the podcast, and everybody's like, cool, what is wrong with you? I'm like, are y'all going to let him run around in gold chains and Versace shirts and hop in a Cadillac when the first time I seen this nigga, it was a black and white video with him sitting on a stool? I was like, are we going to let this happen? And then he got more Grammys than Prince, and now everybody's like, I think he's a vulture. It's like, well, you didn't already let it get to the point of him winning more albums of the year than Prince.
Well, I think the talent level is what makes people look past certain things. And I do agree with what you're saying as far as like the caricature thing that he does. And I could see where you're coming from. And I think when you say those type of things, people who, and same thing with Eminem, people who respect this individual's talent, they think that you're coming at him saying, oh, he's whack, he's talentless. That's not what you're saying. And I've never said that about him either. I just said, you know what I'm saying, his music ain't like that. I never said he wasn't talented.
I'm saying express your talent from the culture that you represent, Mike. I mean, you know this. My ex, Fee half Filipino, Mike. Like, but Fee also got a black side, and Fee from Decatur. So when Fee doing black stuff, that's a little bit different than this dude in the culture that he was raised in. He wasn't raised like that.
Well, all right, I will say this. He was raised to be an impersonator. He was an Elvis impersonator when he was like 3 or 4. So being an impersonator is kind of part of his musical journey. I understand what you're saying. So that is part of.
You can impersonate, Mike, but don't appropriate.
Yeah. You can acknowledge, man. And that's my only thing with Justin. Like all of those things that I just listed out, acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge the fact that you dissed Prince and you was going back and forth on MTV.com when Prince said sexy ain't never left. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge that. It happened.
You already know how I feel.
Yeah, like.
I'm not even going to go down that hole. I'm going to tell you this, though, Mike. Don't tell me that Michael Jackson didn't like that beat to rock your body.
He never heard the stuff.
He would have killed that beat.
He never heard the stuff.
Mike. It's like, no. Mike would have heard that beat, been like, Shimon.
Pharrell himself, I think it might have been when he was on Drink Champs or one of these interview platforms. He said he went up to Mike, or I guess whenever they finally met, and Michael told him that he never heard those songs that they said he turned down. Never heard them. So somebody who's the middle person.
No way he would have heard Rock Your Body and say no, Mike.
Senorita, all that stuff.
Mike got too good. Michael Jackson's ear is legendary, Mike.
Exactly.
Ain't no way he hearing Rock Your Body and like, no, that's trash.
And the fact that I'm sure he was very in tune with what was going on in music too. He knew that the Neptunes' whole style was his style. So I'm sure that he would have given them an ear.
Their melodies are perfect for his falsetto.
Of course.
Perfect.
Their melodies were centered around his falsetto.
Falsettos, right.
Yeah. Jay Short of the Super Chat says, Tim's getting a reputation as exploitive. It may be time to pull up on his production credits and see how much of those drums Danja is responsible for. Now, this is what I will say about Timbaland, though. When it comes to one man and a beat machine, man, not many people are touching him.
Danja Hands, what is he called?
Danja Hands? Yeah,
Danja Hands?
Danja came in during the Nelly Furtado, Justin Timberlake time. Yeah, Danja took his sound to the next level. I will say that. Danja kind of is like his Chad, where his stuff is a lot more full when Danja's working with him. And I've heard some of Danja's stuff by himself. I think he made that Hello Good Morning for Diddy Dirty Money. Like his shit sound like the future. You know what I'm saying? And
Hello Good Morning is futuristic.
Yeah, and their shit. I mean, they sound great together. But I'm not gonna act like Tim ain't got the skills to pull off shit by himself. Because I mean, there was no person around for like 1 in a Million and Superfly and shit. All of Missy's stuff, really. I will give Tim that. He's talented. Now, he might be off code and doing some crazy shit, but he's talented. I'm not going to take that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking more about being off code than I am like you not being talented enough to be considered to be a legendary producer. I'm not questioning that because, Mike, just off the Missy Genuine Aaliyah stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the ancillary stuff, I told you, Mike, like Up Jumps the Boogie, Love to Love Ya, Lobster and Scrimps to my, like, no. He's got a little bit of stuff everywhere. He even got a dope record with Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like, he done did some stuff. He's made his mark. But it's like, no, Mike, he's been off code for going on 2 decades strong now. Like, for real. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, no, we should have been, like, I be telling you, man, it's like, you keep letting these, just because a man is talented and he has money and he's black doesn't mean we don't have to audit him in the circumstances. That's actually when we need to audit the circumstances the most to make sure that we're not getting out of hand. Because we're so dilapidated with our resources and how we're raised, that it is a psychological type of warfare thing. When you acquire a certain amount of wealth and fame in this community, you can lose your way. It's the easiest for us to lose our way because we've been given the least, like the least amount of road. We have the least amount of road, Mike. So of course it's harder for us to find our way back. We got the least amount of road that you can see, and it's still a dirt road without any fucking lights on it half the time. So
yeah. They're saying it's danger hands, not danger hands. I've been saying danger for decades now. I guess I could be wrong.
I thought it was danger hands.
Okay, I guess it is. I could be wrong. And they're saying he made "We Taking Over" DJ Khaled. I like that beat too. That shit sounds like the future.
Oh, I remember "We Taking Over."
That shit's hard. No, man, I agree with you, and I think what he's doing. Co-signing this AI, it's not only exploiting the guys that aren't here and the artists that aren't here, but it's kind of locking out the new guys too. I would be more okay if he was talking about this in a sense for like the DOC or guys who don't have their voice. I'm okay with that. But to exploit the people who are no longer here and start putting words in their mouth, for lack of a better term, I think it's off code stuff, man. From a creative standpoint, he wouldn't want nobody taking his sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I'll tell you. When I think about somebody like a Big L, would I love to hear the opportunity to hear like some of Big L's verses that never got released, done and made into an album with this technology, possibly something like that, if the family and the estate were for it. Right. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if it's actually doing the right thing, I'm not opposed to it because I feel like in every situation, the opportunity to do the right thing is presented itself. So maybe this puts money into Big L's family estate in a way that it hasn't before.
Right.
But also too, but just like everything, and this is why there is like code watching and gatekeeping that needs to go on. Well, there are people that are going to be more nefarious about it.
Yep.
They just do it for their personal wealth and their personal gain with no concern for the culture. No concern for the families involved, and no concern for the integrity and the basis of the music or the music business.
Right.
And we just have to be monitoring and auditing these things. And I hate to say it, Mike, it's like we be so happy when somebody makes it or does great things. It's like we're scared to pull up on them and tell them that they're wrong. You know?
And the other thing like, is, too, and I agree with you.
That you're wrong. Like, I'll tell you to your face, too. Like, not like over... Like, no, like, I've been this way for a long time. Like, you ask about me, it's like, I tell you to your face. You're wrong.
You're right. And I'm with you on that. I mean, I think the other thing, too, is the greatness of Biggie is not just in his voice. Like, that's kind of taking his brain out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's his mind and the way that he put things together is part of his greatness.
It's the way that he stitched the words together.
Exactly.
Right. 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Jay Short with the super chat says, Coop, you're a Prince fan. You know that Justin Timberlake's album is just 1999 reworked. The sounds and the samples are the same. Now, I go a little deeper with that. Obviously, Timbaland comes from the Devontae school. And I think Devontae from Jodeci, for the people out there. So I'm reading something Darren said. Devontae from Jodeci, he tried out for Prince's band. He's clearly a Prince-influenced individual from the drums and everything. So I think that Timbaland's time working with Devontae kind of put him in that world of doing, using those Prince drums, for lack of a better term. Because I think what Jay Short's talking about To the End of Time, that's on Future Sex Love Sounds, the Justin Timberlake album. And that takes on a lot of those, those Prince drums are the ones that we know from Prince. Yes, Swing Mob. Shout out to Jordan House in the building. So yes, I think a lot of that stuff that he did make for Justin is very Prince influenced and reworked, and I think that adds more insult to injury when it comes to the fact that he had the nerve to even respond to Prince when Prince wasn't even dissing him like that. And for the people that don't know what song I'm talking about the Give It To Me song, where Nelly Furtado's going at Fergie at the time, Timbaland's going at Scott Storch at the time, and Justin is going at Prince. And so my thing about that is, so okay, Nelly Furtado and Fergie, they were kind of in that same dimension at that time, going back and forth, because Fergie said on Fergalicious, I ain't promiscuous and all that stuff. Nelly Furtado's responding to that. Timbaland's responding to Scott Storch with the whole Piano Man thing or whatever. Boom. These guys are on a similar level. But the fact that y'all use this record to let Justin Timberlake diss Prince like they're on a similar level is crazy. Like, wait a minute. Whoa. We're out of our division here.
Come on, give it to me.
Yeah, no, I was just breaking down the whole song for everybody. But yeah, I was just saying the song "Give It to Me" in itself, where Nelly Furtado is going at Fergie and Timbaland's going at Scott Storch. Okay, all this stuff is evenly matched up, and it's like y'all think Justin Timberlake's supposed to back clean up here and close the song out and diss Prince, and that's okay? That's bad advice. That's the similar advice that they gave what's her name to diss Beyonce. You remember that?
But listen, here's what's wild about it. If you listen to the bars go at the what they say something about the top of the charts. Oh yeah, that's right. You wasn't there. It's like, dude, you'll never have an album that smells like Purple Rain. Don't ever talk about the charts to Prince. You know what I'm saying?
That was
like,
crazy.
You understand who you're talking to? It's like, do you understand who you're talking to, fam?
Cool. They recorded this stuff. Timbaland said, "Yeah, that's it. Do that." Like, who you think? Who you think gave him the cosign to diss Prince on that record? Right. It's on Timbaland's album too, by the way.
When you talking about charts, we're talking about a man that went on like a 5-album multi-platinum run. That like you'll never you couldn't even do it if you tried.
So not only, yeah, Carrie Hilson. Yeah, they gave Carrie Hilson bad advice to diss Beyonce too. And again, who made her comfortable enough to even do that? But back to the other record, right? So to add more insult to injury that you're using a lot of Prince's drums, Timbaland, for this Justin Timberlake album that had already been out at that time.
Mike on Genuine's album.
No. And I was saying while you were gone, he probably comes from that school of thought because he worked with Devontae. Devontae tried out for Prince's band, clearly big influence on him, right? But you sitting here co-signing, and I think, in my personal opinion, I think he put the battery in Justin's back to diss Prince. I doubt Justin Timberlake came to the set with all these black folks and said, you know what, I'm going to diss Prince, and they're going to be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? He asked for permission to do that or was gassed up to do it. And I feel like Timbaland gassed him up to do it.
It's very problematic.
I mean, shit. I'm just saying. I mean, both are to blame, but I'm not going to sit here and let Timbaland go blameless for Justin Timberlake dissing Prince. It was on your album, on your beat. You could have told him straight up, like, yo, man, you might want to sit this one out. Or you might want to diss Usher instead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, for real.
Somebody in your division somewhat, even though I don't think Justin, from a talent perspective, is in Usher's class either. But that's much closer than Prince. God damn, nigga, you reaching for the stars. You might as well diss Mike, man. How about that? You already stole his record.
Galaxy, Mike. You're reaching out your galaxy, Mike. I'm going to say this again. The only artist from our era that's even in that stratosphere talent-wise is Lauren, Mike. She's the only artist from our era.
She ain't got the work. I can't even say that.
She's the only one that talent-wise is even considerable for the type of talent that Mike and Prince and like Stevie and
I can't even say that. She ain't put out the level of work. We don't know.
I said talent, Mike. I'm just talking about a big talent.
In a vacuum,
being able to become, like his talent doesn't even register on the meter to make Mike. That's like
Timbaland owes us an apology, man.
Mike,
I'm talking about everybody.
That's like Lamar Odom telling LeBron James how to play small forward.
Timbaland owes the black community and I don't even want to say that. Timbaland owes the music world an apology for putting a battery in Justin Timberlake's back to have him diss Prince on his album. Apologize.
We gotta do some code checking 2 decades.
I mean, really, man. The music is dope. The shit is nice or whatever, but that shit is off code as fuck, man. And then the fact that he went to Minneapolis after Prince's death and performed the Super Bowl halftime show. And what did he even do a rendition of? I forgot what it was. Purple Rain or something? And didn't even apologize? Man, please. Like you said, that's stuff that's going unchecked. I hear they're working on an album right now, too. I hear that maybe he's trying, Justin Timberlake and Timbaland. Maybe he's trying to get some AI Biggie verses for Justin Timberlake's album or something. Maybe that's what this is about.
Hey, they doing an album now in 2023?
I'm a fan of the music. I don't want this to come across as anything else. But my nigga, that's off-code stuff, Timbaland. You know that. And you're clearly a Prince fan. Don't do that. Don't allow. But we let it go. We let it go. But now we're not.
Because here's what happened. This is what I'm saying. He made that Aaliyah stuff and that Missy stuff. And people forget after Aaliyah died. And then Missy kind of started getting other production too and still did Timberland stuff. But he was kind of off on his own. When he got off on his own, got off code. Yeah, got off code when he got off on his own. Mm-hmm.
Jay Short with the Super Chat says, you know when Britney needed that big comeback album, Blackout, they got Danger and Tim. Yeah, I remember that. They got like 8 songs on there. No beats for Genuine, though. Yeah, you know.
It's like Appropriators Are Us.
No, this is the thing, too, man. I know Missy is very
Timberland Beat Store, Appropriators Are Us. All talented white artists, get your BTA.
I know Missy's really close with Janet Jackson, and I believe that's a real thing. I wonder how Missy feels about...
She was on tour with Janet.
Yeah. I mean, I hear they're like real friends. I wonder how Missy feels about Timbaland's working with Justin Timberlake to the level that he does.
With all the titty ripping,
yeah,
and Michael Jackson,
and the fact that Janet had to take the brunt for all of that. Janet's career went here, his career went here after. There was no accountability for him on any level, and he's the one that did the ripping.
Do you feel like she had just kind of hit her icon peak though, and that the record sales just weren't going to be
the same? I think it was a conscious effort to not play. I remember it. I was at Georgia State at the time, and I was taking journalism classes, and every journalist ethic class was about that fucking Super Bowl. There was really nothing. And at the time, everybody was saying, look, we're not playing Janet. We're not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, they start pressing buttons on her, and they start making it hard for her to put out anything. I think Tyler Perry even spoke about it in Janet's documentary and was like, you know, at the time when nobody was really rocking with Janet, he gave her that opportunity to be in Why Did I Get Married?
Wow.
Yeah, it took Tyler to do something like that because everybody, including her industry friends, this is Janet fucking Jackson, sat there and stepped away.
For Justin Timberlake, punk ass? Yeah.
Well, he elevated.
Now I see why Timbo work out so much. You're going to need to, Mike. The streets don't play that shit, especially about Janet. She made What Have You Done For Me Lately?
And, you know, the people haven't let them forget about this. And, you know, since we got social media now, people speak on it more. And now Justin Timberlake wants to acknowledge some of these things. But no, man, that shit was dead wrong. You sat there and let this woman, this icon, who allowed you to share the stage with her on the Super Bowl to take the whole brunt for this. It was even on his song.
It's very problematic.
Jay Short with the Super Chat says, they put the Battery and Carries back, then gave Madonna the best beats for that Hard Candy album, Shady. I remember that. And the Neptunes were on that too. I like that album. That shit was dope. Timbaland did a lot of stuff on there. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and then Madonna, speaking of her, she'll get on the stage opening up the VMAs, you know, kissing Britney and Christina, and nobody says anything in the mouth. No one's talking about the kids then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it was the Justin and Janet, all kids are watching. Right. But, yeah, I wonder how Missy feels about the fact that Timbaland will just drop everything to work with Justin after what Justin did to her friend and our legend, our icon, Janet.
Not a legend, icon.
Oh, yeah, man.
Icon.
At catastrophic proportions. Listen, man, I don't play with the Jacksons, man. They're our royal family people.
I don't care how much ass.
And they earned it. They earned it through talent. They didn't have to kill off anybody or take over anybody to do it. They are royal family.
Their family bred 2 of the 5 best artists of the last 50 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In the discussion, in my opinion.
I mean, and then you got the brothers in there, so we got 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers in there.
It's like having Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. We got 2 top 10 players all time.
Right. John Green with the super chat, with the $20 super chat, showing love on this afternoon. He says, Nas is the only artist that every other month I discover unreleased music. I'm with you. Same here. Says Nas has done interviews for his song Sinatra in the Sand, produced by Timbaland, featuring Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake since 2012. Still never heard it released. Still never released it. Excuse me. That's crazy. Yeah, Nas got crazy stuff that, just never even got out there. Man, I don't know how we got on that tangent, but I liked it. That was dope. Did you hear the Belly Mumble Rap 2 album?
Yeah, it's really fire.
It's dope. It is. I wasn't expecting that. I think it's top 3 of the year.
You want to know what it was, Mike? It was one of those things. It was so dope that I was surprised how dope it was. How I was hearing it. Like when you was texting me, you were like, "Is it good?" And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, like, "This shit's really good." I was like, but it's just like I wasn't expecting it, so it was hard to gauge the dopeness.
Production
Mike,
is
it's
there.
Crack music.
Yeah, that shit's hard.
Music going on.
It might be.
You know, fool with these beats, Mike. You wouldn't know that he's doing these beats again.
Yeah. Hit Boy is the truth. And happy, I won't say belated birthday. It's the first show we had since his birthday. It's his birthday yesterday as well. Shout out to Hit Boy. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Celebrate it. But yeah, Hit Boy's versatility, crazy. I think the production on this Mumble Rap 2 project, period, is dope.
It was stellar, Mike.
Yeah. I'm going to listen to it some more. I mean, I really ain't got nothing negative to say about it.
Right. How about this, Mike? I was thinking to myself, it's like, I really need to listen to it again to give it a proper rating, Mike, because even like the Cocaine Spoon with Ross, De La Hoya with Gucci,
yeah,
American Nightmare, Heroic Villains, the Loyalty versus Royalty, Gil Scott-Heron, the Capone Ambiance, it's like, no, he got some heat on here, Mike. I mean, I was like, how about this? I know it's one of the 5 best rap albums I've heard this year, easy.
Maybe easy. Easy top 3.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean...
Easy top 3. I think the only one that I know it's probably not better than is probably Skis, just because of everything Skis did. But I don't know, man. This shit, I'm going to listen to it some more.
I'll tell you what. How about this? I thought enough of this album that immediately made me think, it's like I need to go listen to the Skis again and get my barometer together about the album of the year contenders, because it's like I heard, how about this? This was the type of album in this year where it's like, oh, no, this is a contender for the title.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was like, oh, no, I'm going to have to go play the Skis and then go play this and see if it's like, a heavyweight fight going down.
Man, you remember the excitement that we had last year when KD3 was coming out and, we did our station head. Everybody was listening to it at one time and we were all amazed by what we were hearing. I just want a feeling like that. You know what I mean? From an album that's gonna come out this year.
That's Nas. That's what I'm saying. People have to understand how special we got superheroes, Mike. He's our greatest superhero as far as this rap shit is concerned. He just did some superhero rap shit. So it's like, don't be expecting nobody to fly down from planet Krypton and like start blasting the shit open through the water like Katie. No, it's not happening. That's when Black Thought does stuff like Aquamarine and No Gold Teeth. It's like, no, highlight that. That's glorious. That's extravagance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jordan House is telling us, just like everyone else, we need to check out this Billy Woods album.
Okay, now respectfully, I am, but y'all told us that last year. When y'all said that.
They've been saying it for a few shows now.
No, the Atheos album was good, but people was talking like it was some sort of bona fide classic. It was good. So we're going to go listen to the Billy Woods again.
Oh, yeah. Jay Shore with the super chat says, did you see Black Milk releasing a new album soon? Been working on it for 4 years. Album of the year contender. I'm with it. I love Black Milk.
Ooh, hold on, Jordan. I see you. The ST-NAC. I've heard the ST-NAC, Mike. We need to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard that.
We're gonna be on that. Let's see. What's next on the lineup? I mean, do you want to start putting some MCs through before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do this. let's put Doom in the mix right quick. We got about 10 minutes, right? Well, I got about 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, something like that. Before we get out of here, we got to promote, you know what I'm saying, Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
Mad Max of the Super Chat says, just a reminder, Ice Spice is the MVP of 2023. I'll say this, Mad Max. I think when Ice Spice finally releases her full album, I know she put out an EP or whatever, but I think she has an invasion of privacy probably coming. When she does that, it's probably going to stop the world. I will say that. It's going to stop the rap world. If she ever does it. I think this would be the year to do it, but I think she will. So, yeah, that is, you know what? This is what I'll say, Mad Max. She's definitely New York's MVP.
Easy.
Flex said it. They got the hottest thing out of New York.
They got the Knicks. They ain't got no MVPs up there.
She the hottest thing out of New York, definitely. No question.
Yeah, let's talk about this. This Wednesday, Mike D and I are going to be hosting Mental Health Awareness Forum at the D4L compound in the skating rink at 1959 Metropolitan Avenue. It's going to be an array of speakers addressing mental health issues that are affecting the community. Mike and I are going to be going live from there and are going to be covering the event as well. If given the time and opportunity, I'm going to do some speaking about some of the issues that have plagued me, my family, people that I've loved. Talked about how, the trauma from my ex losing her child to Fire's disease affected her mental health and affected my mental health. And I was already having mental health issues before that. And, not dealing with trauma properly can lead to poor decisions in cataclysmic circumstances. So we're going to try to start clearing some more of the air and some more of the space in our head, literally, and address the issues head on as we should and stop, in the Black community specifically, Mike, we just got a bad habit of sweeping the trauma and the drama and the tension and the friction under a rug. And really it just festers and manifests itself into something greater when you let it sit,
You're right.
I just can't let it sit anymore. It's affected my life too much, and I'm too grown now to ignore it. And we got to start paying attention to the things, and this is just, specifically for me, we got to start paying more attention to our Black mothers and what they're going through.
For sure. I agree. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, you said a mouthful right there. I sweep things under the rug just so I got that tunnel vision. And it's not a good thing, but
no, I do too, Mike. And I mean, and this is what I mean. I don't know about you, but it's like, and this is what I mean about dealing with the trauma. And I've said this to people frequently over the past year. Well, it's taking losing in relationships for me to realize that me growing up without my father and not meeting him till I was 19 really did affect me. Because in certain situations with women relationally, I have not known how to respond to be of a help and benefit to them and to be the real leader and provider we're supposed to be, because I wasn't given the tools to, because I'm still dealing with my own mental health issues. You get what I'm saying?
No, for real.
And not having a man to show me the ropes and guide me through those circumstances led to the demise of my last relationship. Because it's like I didn't know how to lead her through her travails, because I didn't know how to lead myself through mine, because nobody taught me how to deal with these circumstances in love and relationship and in life.
That's real, man. And thanks for sharing that stuff too. But yeah, those are some of the things that, we're going to be tackling and talking about.
I need to start sharing. And and these are the things about me. I know people hear me come up here and talk a lot of what, but it's this is like a show. This is entertainment to a degree, although we do keep it very real and honest with y'all. But it's no, there's a whole world of stuff that has happened to me behind the scenes, Mike, and you know about it even since this podcast has started. I got to start being honest with the things that are going on behind the scenes that are shaping my thoughts, my processes, and even sort of the motivations of doing these events,
Yeah, for sure. Before we get out of here, I'm going to put the flyer up one more time before we get off that subject, rather. Mind Over Matter Mental Health Boot Camp. That's going to be Wednesday. It starts at 7, correct?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
going to be 7 to 10
7
in
to
the
10.
stadium.
Yep. 7 to 10, 1959 Metropolitan Parkway. Skating rink. It's going to be a good time. Register today. And go follow FDL training too
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Instagram.
sign up for the link. Sign up for the Eventbrite link. Hit me and Mike D up. Hit info at According to Hip Hop. Hit Coop at According to Hip Hop. Hit like and subscribe to the page.
Yep.
We appreciate the whole
I'm gonna put the Eventbrite in the community section as well.
Okay, yeah, we got a Juneteenth event coming up soon. Don't y'all forget about that.
Yes, sir.
We'll be live in the place to be. Our guy Fuego, who we just interviewed, Fuego is going to be there performing. We got a slew of other artists coming too. It's really going to be a good look. There might be some behind the scenes opportunities for you and me, Mike, that we'll talk about when this is done. But I was thinking, Mike, two things. One, what's the next? What's your next station head that you want to do? Are we doing RZA, Q-Tip? Is it Dre, Kanye next?
I think it was Dre, Kanye. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm getting prepared for that. Okay. and I have something for you, Mike. I was actually thinking we need to do our top 75 players list. And so
I like that
because of the Dwight Howard conversation, it really got me to thinking. And here's how I figure we can do it. We can do top 10 for each position, which will take us to 50, right?
Right.
Then the top 10 combo guards, Mike.
Okay, I like that.
And then after the top 50 for each position and the top 10 combo guards, 15 open slots. So it leaves plenty of room for like the free for all. So it's like if it's some minutia somewhere. And so what do you think about that?
I like that. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Because when I thought about it, Mike, it's like, well, I couldn't think of 75 players better than Dwight Howard.
Yeah, man. The league clearly doesn't like him for whatever reason.
Right. And it's like, I know guys like George Mikan and so on and such got to be on the list, but
is that fair? You know what I mean? Like, is that fair that? I mean, obviously their impact is different, but you guys.
George Mikan won titles.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't just like a big man. He did win MVPs and titles. And
exactly. No. And he should be on there. But I think that we all believe that if they were both on the court at the same time, Dwight Howard's probably going to get the best, but I don't know if that's a fair way of looking at it either. I know that's the way a lot of people look at it because this is a competitive sport. Basketball can be a one-on-one thing, so sometimes we pull people out and be like, yeah, Dwight Howard beast over him, but I don't think that's the best way to look at it.
Right.
Jay Short with the super chat says, y'all going to do AZ versus Cam or y'all protecting Cam? Well, we'll start there, man. Let's start with AZ instead of Doom. Because, Jay Short's very active in the show, and he really wants this AZ versus Cam thing.
All right, you got it.
You got it. That's what we do here. You got it.
Okay, doing AZ versus Cam, so we're moving AZ up to 44. So we'll see if he goes up or if we have to slide him back down.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, impact.
Cam.
Live performance. Cam.
That's Cam.
Lyrics is A.
Yep.
So is storytelling.
Yep.
Ooh, what say you classic albums? Because I tell you that was Cam until Do or Die too. Because now I tell you it's A.
Huh. I want to put that in the poll.
Okay.
Because I'm cool with doing a tie there, but I want to see what the people say.
I'm cool with the tie right there too.
Who should win classic? That's how I'll put it that way. Hold on. Sorry about that. Who should win classic albums? Let's see what people say. All right, what's the next one?
Classic songs is Cam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Longevity of albums, that's AZ. Because he made Do or Die in 95.
Yep, he did.
Longevity of songs.
Cam. Oh, Sugar Hill.
That's A. That's Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill's a platinum single, Mike.
That's one song, though. When you say songs.
How about this? But listen, longevity of songs, but does Cam even have a platinum song, though? Because Sugar Hill's platinum, Mike. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think Oh Boy is.
Is Old Boy platinum?
I think
Sugar
so.
Hill was like platinum like the year it came out platinum, not that like residual platinum.
No, I think that was immediate. Hold on, let me see. I want to look this up. I want to be factual here. We got 21 votes here. I guess we'll stop at 50. AZ's winning so far. But let me see what Oh Boy is. Oh Boy is a song. Because he has a lot of songs that have longevity, whereas AZ has that one song that has the longevity.
Hold on, but when you're saying he has a lot of songs that have longevity, it's like how many of those records are the solo mission that Sugar Hill is? That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
Because you're thinking about Dipset Anthem. Oh, it's like that's Jewels. Oh Boy, Jewels. Hey Ma, Jewels.
Jewels is on Oh Boy. Okay, that's fine. I give you that.
Horse and Carriage is Mace. That's why I like What Means the World to You. That's his real solo shot. That's not Sugar Hill.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. Classic collaborations.
Cam. Because it's a variety of collaborations. Right. But he has one. He has the most classic collaboration on Illmatic. I'll give him that.
He's got some other stuff too. But
he does.
Career longevity quality.
I think that's AZ.
I do too. Voice. I think that's A2.
I'm with that. What's it looking like? And he won the classic albums, by the way, or at least he's winning.
He would have. It would have come down. It wouldn't have come down to voice, but he won 7 of the 11. Yeah, Cam won Impact Live Performance, Songs, and Classic Collaborations. So A's moving up. Bun B is next. Impact.
Bun.
Yep, Live Performance is Bun too.
Yeah.
Lyrics.
A.
Storytelling.
That's AZ.
Yep, Classic Albums.
Well, we're counting UGK in here, so that's Bun.
Okay, cool with that. Classic Songs, that's Bun.
Yeah.
Longevity of Albums, that's Bun.
Yep.
Longevity of Songs is Bun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's where AZ is. He's between, he's in front of Cam, but behind Bun.
I'm scared to do this Doom before we leave.
Might want to wait to Doom until Friday so everybody can be mad.
Okay,
or Wednesday.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's stop at A. Let's just do A today and get out of here.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all riding with us. This was a great discussion today.
So look, Mike, right now, I want you to understand, Lupe, Jeezy, and Freddie are not in the top 50 anymore.
What?
That's what happens, Mike.
I want to revisit the Lupe thing, but, we'll be done with this list pretty soon, guys. I know people are like, man, y'all niggas is still on this list?
Technically the list is done. We just want to edify it now.
Yeah, we're in the editing process.
Right, but literally, we have like 15 more people down, so we should be done with this in the next 2 weeks.
Yes, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done so. We got a lot coming up. We will see you guys Wednesday. And, appreciate y'all rocking with us.
Yeah, A2HH Live.
Yes, sir.